If somebody were to ask you what your best friend looks like, would you be able to describe them off the top of your head? I know I could. Mine is almost the same exact height as me, 147 centimeters to be exact. It has black and white polka dots and purple and gray squiggles. And it can only be used in the wintertime, on snow. Have you guessed what it is yet? If you said a snowboard, you're correct. This is my snowboard. I've been riding it for 3 years now, but I've been snowboarding altogether since I was 5 years old, which is now almost 13 years. I've been a snowboard instructor at Woods Valley for 5, and I teach little kids and adults how to snowboard every day. There are different parts to your snowboard, such as the edges, your bindings. These two edges, this one up front is called your toe edge. This one on the back, that's your heel edge. Your snowboard can also be like a dog. It has a nose, and at the bottom, there's a tail. There are many different parts to your bindings too. They're not just one solid piece. You have the heel strap that holds your whole foot in place, and there's your toe strap that keeps your toes in. Your foot should sit comfortably right up against the back of your bindings. Besides being able to maneuver in the snowboard, one of the most important things to be able to do is know how to stop. There are 2 ways to stop. I'm going to start with the first, which is the most common among most people, and that's on your heel side, which is this edge right here. The first thing you have to know, before you even can learn how to stop though, is which foot is dominant. When I taught at Woods Valley, there are 3 different tests that we have done. The first one is the hop test, where you hop over something and see which foot you land on. The one that you land on, that's your dominant foot. The second test is cross your arms. The one that you put on top, that's your dominant one. The other one is you push somebody from behind and you tell them to land how they would if they were tripping and falling. The foot that they land on, that's their dominant one. Most times, they don't land on the same foot every time, but usually 2 out of 3 works best. Back to stopping. Usually, when you're first learning how to stop, you're going to learn with 1 foot only first. What you're going to do is you're going to strap the foot that's most dominant into your binding. You're going to point that foot downhill. You're going to give yourself a couple small steps, which is called skating, and you're just going to glide down the hill a little ways. Once you start getting going, you're going to turn your whole upper body, including your head, to the left. Once you start turning, you're going to lift up on your toes and push down on your heels. It's very important to pick up on your toes, because if you don't, it's very easy for you to catch your edge, this edge right here, and fall. It's also very important for you to look over your shoulder and actually turn your head, because if you don't, the rest of your body won't follow and your snowboard won't turn. The second way that most people learn how to stop is on their toe edge, which is exactly like your heels, except opposite. Many people prefer to stop on their heels though, so it's just easier. In order to stop on your toes, you are again going to point your lead foot downhill, give yourself a couple good pushes, put your foot on your board, glide until you get going, and then instead of turning towards the left, you're going to turn your whole upper body uphill, like this. And you're going to pick up on your heels and push down on your toes. It's very important to pick up on your heels, because if you don't, same thing, you're going to fall backwards. The whole time that you're doing this, you want to make sure that you're in an athletic stance with your knees bent. If you've played soccer or baseball or any other athletic sport, you know that your knees are bent and your arms are out front. After you learn how to stop, most people learn how to feather. Feathering is when your board is across the hill and you're using the tactics that you just learned with stopping and now applying them along with feathering. So when you're going down the hill, your snowboard is across the hill like this, and your toes are up and your heels are down. And all you're going to do with your knees bent is just ride down the hill like that. That is one of the most simplest ways that people learn how to snowboard. I am Karen Rutledge, and I am a snowboard instructor at Woods Valley.